Hello everyone, it's Diego Doom here, and today I'm bringing you another review. Today I'll be reviewing Soul of Chogokin GX-49 Shin Mazinger Z. Shin Mazinger Z originally aired back in 2009 and is a basic retelling of the original Mazinger Z story, but with bonus content. Now this iteration of Shin Mazinger Z is Shin Mazinger Z with his Gaud Scrander. And the Gaud Scrander is an upgrade that Shin Mazinger Z receives during the show and gives him the ability to use the attack, the Big Bang Punch. So this figure is definitely very nice, very neat, and very cool. Shin Mazinger Z has a fantastic sculpt, fantastic paint applications, some nice articulation, some nice diecast content, and a very nice, very neat, very cool, and very accurate transformation. So first, let's check out Shin Mazinger Z's accessories. Okay, let's check out Shin Mazinger Z's accessories. So Shin Mazinger Z comes with one additional pair of hands, one additional pair of forearms, one pair of fingertips, and one Gaud Scrander, and then to top it off, one very nice, very neat, and very cool stand to hold all the accessories. So first, let's go ahead and get the hands and the forearms out of the way. Now with these hands and forearms, it's pretty much the same standard affair of all the Mazinger Z releases in the Soul of Chogokin line. So just like the GX-45, it still has the rocket punch firing gimmick. So you have that same open hand and the same forearm here. So there's no need to go into too much detail, but you know, it still shoots out. Let's see if we can find that tab there. Shoots out across the room. Yep. Good launcher mechanism. Definitely very nice, very neat, and very cool. So then next, we'll check out the fingertips. And these fingertips are meant for the transformation into the Big Bang Punch mode. So we'll go over these later, but just a fingertip that fits over the hands, and we'll go into that in the transformation part of this review. So pretty cool, nicely sculpted, a nice glossy black, and overall pretty cool. But we'll go over these in just a little bit. But the main reason to pick up this figure is for the Gaud Scrander accessory, and it's definitely very nice, very neat, and very cool. It definitely has a very nice paint application, and it's very well articulated, so definitely cool here. So the Gaud Scrander here, as far as articulation is concerned, the wings can actually bend here. Pretty cool there. They can bend at this point, and also they can move up and down. So I can move up and down here on this piece. And the articulation is all for the transformation, but it still looks cool that you can actually articulate this in different positions. So it looks cool even when Mazinger Z is just standing normally. So pretty cool there. Then also here on the back, there are fingers here. And this all goes into the transformation that we'll go into in just a little bit. And the fingers are articulated and actually can rotate around, and they can actually bend here. And then also the fingertips for the fingers are actually hidden inside. You would actually flip these out. So pretty cool there. And then the thumb here actually swivels all the way around. So definitely cool accessory here. Definitely cool. And how this attaches to Shin Mazinger Z is it just pegs in much like the Scrander for the GX-45. So we'll just go ahead and attach that there. And this can be a little bit tough attaching this because these pegs here seem to be a snug fit, and at times it can kind of feel like you might break these where these are so thin, and they're not necessarily frail, but they're very thin. So do be careful with these when you're actually attaching this to Shin Mazinger Z. So we'll grab Shin Mazinger Z here. There's actually a hole in the back that this pegs into, so get him wrapped in there, and then make sure that it's in the hole snug. It actually clicks into place, so that's pretty cool. And then you just bring this all together, and this is where it gets a little bit tough. And let's see if we can get this. This is kind of tough and snug here, so because my biggest thing is I'm concerned about breaking these pegs and you can never snap this together again. But just with a little bit of work, you can actually get this there. I'm going to go ahead and do this off camera, so just give me 1 second. Okay, so now we have Shin Mazinger Z with the Gaud Scrander attached, and this figure looks definitely very nice, very neat, and very cool. It's definitely a fantastic accessory that complements Shin Mazinger Z here. And one thing to note, with this accessory attached, it does make Shin Mazinger Z a little bit top heavy, so make sure you have the legs twisted appropriately and the feet planted firmly so he won't fall forward on his face. But nonetheless, this is a fantastic accessory. So, with the accessories out of the way, let's go ahead and check out the Shin Mazinger Z figure itself. Okay, let's check out the Shin Mazinger Z figure itself. So, this figure is pretty much exactly the same build as the GX-45, minus some diecast content and minus some articulation. So let's go ahead and start with the articulation in the head here. So, the articulation in the head is definitely a bit more than the GX-45, and that's due to the fact of the transformation here. So you have an extra neck swivel going on here, so you have a huge range of movement on the head here. You can turn left, you can turn right, look very high up, look very far down, and that's all due to the fact this figure can actually transform. So that's pretty cool. The shoulders, there are actually now a soft ratchet, so they're not really clicky joints here in the shoulders, but still nonetheless very satisfying and very cool. The forearms still attached via magnets, and you do have that nice bend there, so pretty cool there. In the waist, there's no waist articulation, and then what makes this figure so much more different than the GX-45 is in the waist, the knees, and the feet. So remember, in the GX-45, you can actually pull down the waist and give an extra range of motion in the legs here, but on this figure, you cannot do that, so you just have that limited range of motion front to back, very limited. To the side, very limited, so that's pretty cool, and that's still okay because this figure actually transforms, so it makes sense for them to leave that part out. Then in the knees here, the knees only been that standard range of motion versus having that extra tab to give it a double jointed knee, and that's all due to the transformation. Then the feet here, they do not pull out, so they just still have that same swivel. So this figure, even though it doesn't have that extra range of articulation, it's still very posable and pretty cool. You may not be able to strike the most dynamic poses, but still a great figure. One thing to also note, the breastplates here actually move, and once again, this is also part of the transformation. So at times, you have to be careful that you have these straight, because otherwise you don't want to walk around with Mazinger Z crooked and funky looking. But there is an indentation to make sure these plates are in straight, so they actually kind of set in, so that's pretty cool right there. So as a whole, it's still the same great sculpt, just less articulation and less diecast content. So now in this figure with the GX-45, there was diecast in the legs and the feet, but in this figure there is no diecast in the legs, so it's mostly the thighs, the torso, and the arms as far as diecast content is concerned for this figure. But still, nonetheless, it's definitely a great figure. So with the figure review out of the way, let's go ahead and transform Shin Mazinger Z. Okay, let's go ahead and transform Shin Mazinger Z into his Big Bang Punch mode. Two things to note, I have went on ahead and replaced the hands with the fingertips and also removed the hover powder, and I'll explain why I did that just a little bit later. But first, let's go ahead and jump into the transformation, and we'll go ahead and start with the arms. So first and foremost, go ahead and raise the arms vertically. So we'll raise those up all the way. Next, what you're going to go ahead and do there are tabs on the wings to pull these spikes in, so pull each tab down, just like so. Now, one thing to note, each tab, the spikes actually will not go down absolutely inside of the wing, but do not worry. These tips aren't going to get rubbed or get bumped to the point where they'll get round versus pointy or anything like that. So they'll be a-okay inside of these wings. So next what we're going to go ahead and do is fold the wings out and fold them down. So how we go about that, grab the wing here, fold it out all the way, and then just fold it down. So pretty simple right there. So on this side, all the way out and all the way down. So pretty cool there. And once you get the wings down, they're actually going to snap into each other. You can actually see here, sorry for that bump on the camera. As you can see here, there's a male piece and there's a female piece here, so they're actually going to snap in together. And make sure the wings are fully extended. Get that to snap. Let's see. Yep, and they snap into place pretty firm, so pretty cool there. Then also, inside of the wings here, we just move Mazinger's legs there. There are actual pegs here. You just pull these and flip these up. And these pegs actually fit inside of Shin Mazinger Z's legs here. And they just hold the legs in place, so all I have to do is line it up, and it's kind of hard to see on this camera, but there are actually holes in the back of the legs. Just line them up, make sure you rotate the legs properly, and push that in, so it's lined up, push it in, it snaps right into place. Other one, rotate it. Well, first we got to pull the peg up, sorry about that. So get the peg up. Okay, get the peg up there. Let's see. Okay, and now just lined up with the leg. Just make sure the legs are rotated properly, because if not, you'll just wind up pushing the peg back down. So just make sure they're lined up properly, if you can see that in there. Let's see. Got that? Yep. Right into place there, so pretty cool. So next, go ahead and fold in the wings, and then they'll snap together. So get those folded over. Snaps into place pretty firmly. So now you can kind of already see where we're getting to here, so pretty cool there. Next, we're going to go ahead and fold in Shin Mazinger Z's head and into his body. And this is the reason why I removed the hover piloter. I noticed that it kind of gets caught and it will not close completely if you leave it in. In the directions it says you can, but from what I've noticed, the head just won't fit in as snug as it should, so that's just something to note. You might be able to get it in with the hover piloter in, but I just leave it out for the sake of ease. So to do everything with pulling the head in, you're going to grab the chest, you're going to pull down, then you're actually going to pull forward just a little bit, because the chest comes down and forward out, so you see that much. So you got the down, it's out a little bit. So next, go ahead and pull the arms out. So at the shoulders, pull this out, pull this out. And one thing to note, you cannot pull the arms out before you pull the chest down, because the chest actually has some kind of mechanism in it that keeps the arms from being pulled out. So that's something to note. So next, you grab Shin Mazinger Z's head and just fold that in. Let's see, you might have to pull this chest piece out even further, but fold the head in. Maybe we should make sure that head is not looking up or anything. So let's get that head down in there. Let's see. One thing I'm afraid of, okay, this actually pulls down even more. One thing I was afraid of, I don't like pulling this piece out, because if you notice here, it's a thin piece of plastic that holds the chest piece, if you can kind of see that there. And I don't like putting too much stress on this, so that can be a little bit concerning. So get the head in there, make sure it's in there straight. Let me pull this head out. This part can get a little bit finicky and stuff, but it's still good. So once the head's in there properly, it goes all the way in, so pretty cool. Next, just slide that chest piece forward, back in, and snap it all together. Okay. Next, turn the breast fire plates downward so they line up just like so. Pretty cool there. And now, all you have to do, flip the fingers on the back around. So you're going to pull these up, turn these around. Actually, flip the fingers up. And one thing to note, I just now pushed this back out, so sometimes it can pop out a little bit. So flip the other one around, pull it up. Okay, and then bring the thumb around. Pretty cool. So now you have Shin Mazinger Z in his Big Bang Punch mode. So the hands are definitely very posable here, so pretty cool. This doesn't look like a fist just yet. Let's see if we can get that into a fist there or something like it. So we got this. Got a bend going on here. Pretty cool. So there you have Shin Mazinger Z in his Big Bang Punch mode. So definitely a very nice, very neat, very cool, and pretty simple transformation here. It's definitely cool and definitely show accurate. So this is definitely a very cool piece here. Definitely cool. One thing to know, I think I don't have the head in firm as it should be. That's why this chest piece is actually popping out. So just make sure you have your head tucked in as far as you possibly can. And also maybe I might need to pull the arms out a little bit further. See if that does the trick. And I think it does. Make sure your arms or the shoulders here are actually extended. So these two fingers here are actually the shoulders on Shin Mazinger Z. Just go ahead and make sure those are pulled out as much as you can, but don't be too firm on this because you don't want to break anything. But still, nonetheless, this is definitely a very cool transformation here, and it's absolutely show accurate. So, Shin Mazinger Z, if we bring this all together, see if we can make a fist or something like it. Yeah, I pushed that out. See if we can make a fist like this. Something. The gist of a fist, so Big Bang Punch. So definitely very nice, very neat, and very cool, and definitely a very interesting transformation. So pretty cool there. So with the Shin Mazinger Z transformation out of the way, let's go ahead and conclude this review. To conclude the review, Soul of Chogokin GX-49 Shin Mazinger Z is another fantastic release in the Soul of Chogokin line. Shin Mazinger Z has a fantastic sculpt, fantastic paint applications, fantastic accessories, some pretty good diecast content, some nice articulation, and a very nice, very neat, very cool, and very accurate transformation. So this figure is definitely very nice, very neat, and very cool. I highly recommend you pick this figure up. Even though this figure has less diecast content and less articulation as compared to the GX-45, this figure is still another fantastic release, so definitely pick this one up. And also, definitely check out Shin Mazinger Z. It's absolutely a fantastic show. This has been another review by Diego Doom. Thank you very much for watching, and please stay tuned for more figure reviews. Like, comment, and subscribe.